Welcome to Manifest. That is the name of this podcast. Today's topic, we'll be talking about progress. I just got done working out. I have a home gym, so I was kind of messing around out there for a little bit. Uh, I saw a slug on the ground, so that's kind of what inspired this topic. Just because slugs are kind of known for being really slow, they move slow, but I was kind of exhausted a little bit. Not really burnt out. I've just been kind of really busy doing other things. Not so much in the sense of work, but more just play. So, yeah, today's topic will be about progress, and I guess we'll throw in balance as well. But progress. So what I was getting from that, the slog is just no matter how slow the progress is, or no matter how small the steps you're taking, as long as it's forward, that's all that really matters. Um, you should have an outline of your goals. You should have a time limit as well. Depending on if it's short term or long term, there should be some type of time limit that allows you to keep track of your progress as well. So when you're doing short term, it could be like 3 months. It could also be 6 months. Uh, could be a few weeks as well, depending on the particular goal you have set. Um, Within the main goal, you should have little mini goals as well, like target points. So let's say you're trying to lose weight. So that's basically what I'm trying to do right now. Is I'm trying to lose body fat. Let's say in 3 months you're trying to lose. Uh, so a week you could probably lose 2 to 3 pounds a week. That's kind of healthy. On the high end, you could probably lose 4 to 5. That's a little bit extreme. And then on the lesser strenuous side, it would be like 1 to 2 pounds a week. So if that's so 2 a week, a month, it would be about 8 pounds. So 8 times 3, 24. All right. So let's just kind of keep it general. So in three months, you're trying to lose 20 pounds of let's just keep it simple. Let's just say weight. You're just trying to lose 20 pounds of weight mass. So maybe within the first month, you check. With the first month, you should be at losing 10 pounds. And then even within that first month, you should be checking maybe every 2 weeks to make sure there's progress. So if this is your first time, it's going to be really hard. You want to do a lot of research. You might even want to get a coach or just talk to someone who has done it before. Depending on the weight you are now, it's a good thing to not necessarily count calories, but know how many calories you need for the day. And then you can just eat different foods. Normally, when you eat a lot healthier and cleaner, you can eat more. So, like if you're eating more vegetables, fruits, you can eat more than if you're eating starches, carbs, and things like that. Carbs can be good, like sweet potatoes, even rice, depending on your particular palette of things you like. But yeah, so in that sense, that's basically progress. So the goal would be 3 months, 20 pounds. Break it down into each month, and then within each month, break it down for like every 2 weeks. Do like a little check in with yourself. Make sure you're on track. If you're not on track, that's perfectly fine. You might just have to work a little harder in the upcoming weeks or months. And then if you're ahead of schedule, you can keep with that same trajectory, or you can kind of dial it back a little bit. I find that for me, if I dial it back, sometimes I can dial it a little too back, so then I play catch up. So it's all just a preference, knowing yourself, knowing how you deal with certain stressors in your life and things like that. But that's how I like to do um, goals in terms of like 3 months and breaking it down. Uh, there's a lot of techniques to use for setting goals. I like to do like a general outline, like what is the overall goal, and then what is the reason? Like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I want to look good for other people for the summer? That's not really a good reason to be doing it. You should always be doing it for yourself, or if there's a motivating factor like you want to lose this weight so you can be more attractive and feel better for your wife and your family, you'll be able to live longer. That okay, that's a better reason, you know. I mean, it's a little closer to home than just other people. So that's always the best, is when you're doing it for yourself is the number one. But if you're doing it for other people, then it could be like your kids or your family. That's like second best. Um, and like I said, progress can be slow, but it can also be quick. And then just give yourself grace, really. Things happen in your life, you know. Maybe things pop up. Someone just had to cancel an appointment with me because they were reminded that one of their friends got in an accident and they had to help them. They already scheduled that before, but they had forgot. So just things like that, you know. I mean, be flexible. Things can change, and like I said, give yourself grace. You're a human. You go through things. It won't always go as planned. That's kind of just how it is. You just roll with the punches and go along with it. But you can adjust. That's the main thing I want you to take away from this. Not only just the keeping on track with the goals, but you can adjust along the way. Like you can always change. There's nothing is set in stone. As you're going along the journey, um, you can change the goal itself. You can change the milestones, the mini goals, anything. You can change anything, and you can always choose to progress in a different way. And just know that any step forward is progress, really. No matter how big the change is or how small it is, always just progress. Keep that in mind, because the closer you get, sometimes it looks like you're not making progress, but when you actually put it on paper, or if you're dealing with numbers, you will see that there is change. So there is progress going towards the goal. So that's always good to be aware of, because sometimes it will feel like you're not moving, but you actually are. And then you need to look at it in terms of a spiritual sense as well too. Like spiritually, how do you feel? Do you feel good about yourself? Then okay, like that's good. Whereas maybe last time you did a check-in, you weren't feeling as good, so that's progress. Could be emotionally as well too. Are you feeling happy? Do you feel satisfied? That's good. That's progress. You might not be hitting the milestones, but are you seeing change within yourself? That's really all that matters. And then knowing that you are taking the right steps, you're taking action to go towards these things. That's progress as well. Give yourself a pat on the back for that, because you are taking action. A lot of people don't do that. They create these big, elaborate dreams. They might even do an outline. They might get a little into it, but it gets hard and then they give up. Uh, I've done that before, especially when I was younger, but then that was more so in terms of sports, where I had to learn how to be more disciplined in my mindset and disciplined with the people I have around me. So, environment. You might want to look into that too, depending on where you are in your journey. Environment and having the right support system can help you a lot, or it can also hinder you. It can hold you back. That's something I had to learn on my journey, and everybody has to learn that as well. So, something to keep in mind when you are setting goals. If you are telling other people, um, if they do not have any goals or they don't align with yours, that could be a hindrance to you, because you are essentially putting up a mirror to them and showing them that you are trying to change and they're not. They're staying the same, so they might subconsciously attack you because you are threatening their sense of reality, their ego. So balance, yeah. I guess that goes along with balance as well as environment. Being around just like-minded people. So, like I said, I was kind of enjoying myself a little bit, you know, so partying, not getting too crazy, but just being around uh, that environment. So it's always good to enjoy yourself a little bit, but know what is your limit, know what is getting a little bit out of hand for you, what is too much for you. Everyone has different tolerances. So just things like that, like knowing when you're at the edge and when it's like past already. Like it's kind of gotten out of hand. You might have put your goals on the back burner a little bit, which is fine. Like that's okay. Just know that that's what is happening, and it's not lasting too long. So you go back to the original plan. Like what are you trying to do, and stay focused on the end goal. And then balance. A part of balance too is sleep. So because I've been kind of hanging out with people and staying out later, I found that I've been staying up kind of a lot. Sometimes I don't even sleep, which is really unusual for me. That's I don't normally do that, but since I've been going out and things like that, that's kind of what I've been doing. So my sleep schedule is suffering, and in turn, my working out, going to the gym, and then my output in terms of I'm still writing my book and things like that can suffer. So just be aware of those consequences of the actions that you're taking. Also, diet. I want to talk about diet because we're talking about losing weight in the beginning. So, diet is a good thing too as well. It can actually give you energy or it can make you sluggish. I find that for me, if I eat a lot of carbs, especially later on in the day, or sugars early in the morning, maybe mid afternoon, I'll crash and I will get tired throughout the day. So, knowing when to eat certain foods and then when to kind of stop eating. So I had talked about fasting in another video. Um, Fasting in itself can help you be more healthy, but if you do it for too long and you're not really replenishing not only the fluids like electrolytes, but also the nutrients, your body can start eating itself, which is catabolic. If that's what you're going after, good, but know that that is not sustainable. You can't do that for too long. Um, and then what to eat when you're coming out of the fast. It's good to have a protein like an egg, or could even do like a healthy fat like an avocado, something light to get you back in the routine of eating, your body processing. But it protein is probably the best. You don't want to do carbs because it'll change the metabolism in your body. So when you're fasting, you are in ketosis, which your body is using all the fat and stored energy first before it goes into the eating of the muscles. Just understanding the science behind it, how it works. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for the video of progress and balance. I had to learn this really early just because I had to be disciplined with sports and I had certain goals that I was trying to meet. I did I guess fumble a little bit with certain goals, but then when I step back and look at the big picture, that was a part of the process. Like I said, I was learning discipline, I was learning determination, staying focused. So in the bigger picture, I didn't really lose out on anything. Although during that time it might have looked like it, but in the end, I still got what I wanted. So that's another thing as well too is making sure you have the right perspective, which also goes along with the environment. Make sure that you are around the right people because, like I said, if you're, let's say you lost the battle and the people around you are kind of giving you a hard time about that, but you're more focused on the war, like you're more focused on the long term, the bigger picture, they may not have the same mindset. They may be more um, instant gratification, like things more short term. So that's a good thing to be aware of. Perspective. What are people's perspective? How does that affect your mindset and your perspective? But at the end of the day, just be proud of yourself for what you're doing. That's always my number one goal. It's also to set an example for my children. I want my children to look up to me as an example of someone that they would want to follow and be. Um, I've kind of been like that throughout my whole life, whether it was doing good stuff or doing bad stuff. I was always trying to be the example. So I feel like that's one of my purposes. That's why I choose to give back through this YouTube channel, but also through being a life coach and just sharing my story. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for this video. Share this video. I'll post a link to my Facebook in the description box. There should be information for my Facebook. Also on my Facebook, there is information for my website of the services I offer. Like I said, I'm a life coach. I just released a few books that I'm selling online, digital copies. Let me know if you're interested in those. But subscribe, like the video, let other people know, spread the word. I'm trying to grow this channel, let people know what I do. But other than that, yeah, I will see you on the next video, and I look forward to sharing more content with you guys.